Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. In this video, we will learn about how to communicate between the threads in the Node.js. So that means, here this is our main thread and this is our worker thread. How we can send the data from main thread to the worker thread. Let's try to see in this video. So now we will be seeing how to communicate between these threads by passing data back and forth. But here this is super important that for building the efficient apps, so this is very much important. So let's try to see. So now we have our project. So let's say that here we are having a simple thing, app.js file, which is our main file, and also we are having the calc.js file, which is running in a worker thread. So to keep things simple, what I will try to do is I will clean up this entire code. Okay, the worker thread code also I will try to find, and here also I will try to, here I can remove this entire thing. Okay, so this is the main thing. Now what I would be trying to do it is here, so let's try to create the worker here. So you know, right, how to create a worker. So constant worker is equal to new worker of, and I want to create calc.js file. Okay, so this is the code which I want to do it. Fine. So now I have created calc.js file. Now in our calc.js file, what I would be trying to do here, so let's go here, just try to do something like console.log is the, fine. Let's try to run this one. Let's go to our project, so the location of the project. So here we are in the threads. So if you try to CLS, so we are having this one, so node app.js file. So now here you'll be able to see this is the worker thread. So that means this is the worker thread, this is getting executed. Now this is our starting point. So let's try to move on passing the data between these threads. Let's try to see. So passing data to a worker thread. To send the data from the main thread to the worker thread, we use the second argument. So here we will be using the second argument of the worker constructor. So wherever we have created a worker thread, so here you will be passing a second argument, and where it will be taking the options. It's an object, and in this object you will be able to have the worker data, and here you can pass some random text. So here like this you can pass it. So now whenever you are creating the worker, initially you can pass the data, and the data which you are trying to pass it from the main thread, you can able to access it in the worker thread. Here if you want to access this one, so what I need to do it is in the calc.js file. So you need to import is equal to require of node worker underscore threads, and here you will be able to have the worker data, and directly you can console.log worker data. Here you can keep worker data. That's it. Now if you try to execute this line, let's see. So you will be able to see the worker data has been. So now here you need to understand some important concept, that the one important concept you need to say. What is that one is, in the main thread when you are trying to pass the data, so don't think that it is sending the original data. Instead of sending this original data, so object we are trying to send this one, right? So here we can also send something like object also. You can send name is equal to John or something like that. Now if you try to send it, and if I run here, so here you'll be able to see the name John also has been sent. So here you need to understand that whenever you are trying to send the data, don't think that the original data is getting sent. Here instead of sending the original data, the object is cloned and then it will be sent. So for example, let's say that here you are having an object is equal to name. So this is our object, right? And directly you can send this object to here. Okay, and now you are able to print this one, right? Let's try to execute this one. So now we are getting the John. Now here in the worker thread, if you try to see worker data dot name, okay, And here, if you try to see the output for this one, so here you'll be able to see the John. And now after the worker thread, what I will be trying to, so here I will try to do console.log main thread, and here I can use object.name. So what could be the name? So obviously what will happen, it will be something like John only. So for worker main thread is having John, and also worker thread is also having John. Now what I will be trying to do, so the worker thread I will try to change the value. So here I will be trying to change the value something like worker data dot name is equal to, yeah, I have added it like this. Now let's try to see the output. What will happen? So now if you try to change the output, clear it off, and here you'll be able to see the main thread is still having John and the worker data has been changed. What is happening here is, so now you need to understand that whenever you're trying to send the data using the worker data, the actual object is not shared. So the object will be cloned and the cloned object will be sent to the worker data in such a way that, so that worker data has its own copy of object and the main thread will have its own object, own copy of its object. So this one, what I mean to say is, it is something like, you can think something like json.stringify and json.parse we will be using, right? The same process it will be using, but here the worker data will be using another concept, that is nothing but v8 concept it will be using, that is nothing but structured clone. So you will be able to see that html structure clone in the Mozilla Firefox or something like that. So it is an algorithm. So what I can say is structured clone is an algorithm in which it can able, it will try to convert the data, whatever the data you are trying to provide it, into a binary format. So that is one thing which I want to tell you. So it will be using the v8 serialize and deserialize the Node.js. This is the internals Java v8 JavaScript engine topic. Now let's say that I will go to here. Okay, I will go to node here. So this is our node, right? So let's say that constant v8 is equal to require of v8, so that I can use the v8 internal functions directly. So now if you want to serialize, means v8 dot serialize. Okay, we will be having a method serialize, and here you can pass the name as John. So whatever the data you will be passing, so it will be converted into a binary format. Okay, converts the JS object value into a binary form. So whereas this binary form, if you want to deserialize it, means, so you can save it in one variable, constant a is equal to like this, and here you can use the same thing, deserialize, and you can pass the a, so that again the data will be written back. So here then it is, think of it is something like an efficient binary version of json.stringify and json.parse. But what is the main difference between the serialize and deserialize and the json stringify is, it supports more data types like map, set, date, regular expressions, array buffer, begint. These all the things will be supported, and it also preserves the object reference. So object reference also it will preserve it, and it is faster for structured cloning. So when you are trying to do the structured cloning, so it is faster. So here the worker data will be also using the same concept, so which I will be trying to explain you. So now here we understood about the structured cloning, so we will be using this one. So here if you are trying to use this object, means automatically it is structured clone, so something like serialize and deserialize, and it is sending the data. So that's why the object which you are able to see in the main thread is a copy, not an original data. So that is one thing. So now here we have seen the data passing from main thread. So one way only we are able to see. But if the worker thread want to communicate to the main thread, or otherwise this worker thread want to communicate with another one, or main thread want to communicate to another worker thread also, so then what we need to do? So there comes another concept, something like message channel. So that message channel concept and all those things, we'll try to see it in our next videos. So this is all about how we can send the thread communication between the main thread and also the worker thread. So this is the basic thing which I want to explain you. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.